In this video, I'm going to show you how I managed and motivated a sales team that with Allah's permission brought in over $500,000 in just a few months and were consistently closing an average of 48% that's offered to close. Do you understand? Which is 20% above the industry standard in our industry, which is the info space of selling courses and coaching programs. And I'm going to show you my 3 main things that I use to motivate and manage them. In case you're wondering who I am, my name is Imran ibn Mansour. I am a student of Islamic knowledge and I'm also a 7-figure entrepreneur, alhamdulillah. And I have brought in over $3 million plus in terms of sales in the last recent years with Allah's permission. And I'm currently about to do an event called 7 Steps to 7 Figures, which is absolutely free, where I'm going to show you the 7 steps that we use to scale to multiple 7 figures with the permission of Allah. If you want to find out how to gain access to that event, which is going to be online and free, watch until the end of the video. But for now, sales. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. So look, first things first, the sales guy is not Superman. Some people want their sales guys to be like Superman. They're selling a rubbish offer, or they have a very terrible brand presence. They have not warmed up their lead in any way, shape, or form. It's a cold lead. They've just sent it to the sales guy, and then they're wondering why the sales guy is not closing. What you have to understand is that the sales guy, he is the final piece of the puzzle, right? His job is to take this lead, this person that you brought in who's shown interest in your course or your coaching program, and to just seal the deal, handle any last-minute objections. But he can't do that if the lead is not already warm, right? Now, one of the ways that you warm up the lead is by you creating content for that lead, right? Most people don't buy until they come into contact with your content 11 times in 4 different places and consumed an entirety of 7 hours. This is research done by Google. When Google tell you information like this, believe it, because they are an advertising platform on Google and on YouTube, and they also have serious data. So they've combined the data element and the advertising element, and they're telling you that these are the numbers for conversion. So what the brother Zaid, who's one of our closers on our sales team, may Allah reward him. I mean, him and brother Aman, one of the things that he mentioned was, listen, Imran, the guys that close from your podcast are always easier to close, and they always just seem like the better, like on the full close, paid in full, so on and so forth. So then that got me thinking. I was like, okay, cool, well, it makes sense because they've spent more time with me, right? So if you're just sending leads because of shallow advertisement, or you're just on TikTok or Instagram, or just sending out emails, or the only time you make content is when you want to promote a product, and then the guy jumps on the phone to your sales guy, bro, he's not going to be able to close. There's a reason why our sales team last month closed at 48%. Are you listening to me? 48% was the average of the team last month. Yeah, last month. 48%, bro. Do you understand? That's nuts. 48%. On average, we're 20% above the industry. Look, when it comes to the e-learning space, where you sell courses, right? It's about 35% offer to close. Our sales team closes at, no, consistently they close at 48%. That's the average. Last month was over 60-70%. One of our sales guys was closing at 80% above last month. Alhamdulillah. Last month was over 50%. Now, yeah, because they are a great sales team, right? Allahumma barik, they're a fantastic sales team, mashallah, tabarakallah. They're great closers. But also, we are bringing them leads that we're warming up through all of our content. You understand? Also, our offer is good. So in the sense where, don't set your guy up for failure, right? You've hired a closer, he's not closing, my brother. It could be because your leads are super cold. It could be that the thing that they're actually selling, the offer is actually whack. You understand? That's the first issue. The second thing that I advise you with regards to the sales team is that you have to be conscious that there are multiple things that you can tweak in the process of closing the sale. It's not as simple as just put out an ad, get a lead, even if the lead is super hot, super warm, right? And just expecting the guy to close. No, because some people no-show. Some people don't close on the call and you need to follow them up. So on and so forth. All of these possible scenarios and situations can happen. So you've got to constantly be looking at all of the data, right? How many people are no-showing? How many people are coming on the call? What type of people are you actually closing? What demographic of people are the most valuable? What type of person completes their installments? What type of person pays in full? Blah, 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 all of these things. And you've got to just constantly be tweaking all of these different processes, the follow-ups, the automations, the messages. All of these things to be able to decrease the no-show rate, to increase the rate of people that you're closing on the call, blah blah, and so on and so forth. So you have to constantly be looking at 1% improvements, right? That's one of our values, core values at our company, at the Righteous and Rich, which is what? How can we improve by 1% every day, if not every week at the very least, right? It used to be the week, now it's every day. Every day, how can I tweak the sales pipeline and make it 1% better in terms of the email that gets out the moment the lead opts in, or the setter, does he contact the lead straight away? And these are some terms that I'm using that you might not be familiar with, but I'm talking to people that are already in this space, right? So you should be familiar with what I'm saying. But how long until the setter follow-ups the lead the moment it books in to, prepare them for the call and blah, blah. Do you even have a setter in the first place? These are all things that you can do to make it easier for the sales guy. And the last thing, and in my opinion, this is the most important. This is one thing that I did with our sales team, like quite consciously, which was constantly show the sales team the results of what they're selling. So a sales guy closes someone, right? Closes someone for £4,500. So it closes someone for our course Imran setup, which is our old course, right? Currently, we're doing something new. 7 steps and 7 figures. But before they were closing, that's closing for the Imran setup. So when the sales guy closes, he's just taking 4.5K from someone, £4,500. He's a human being. Forget human, he's a Muslim. He's a slave of Allah, and he knows that I've taken someone's money. And I've told him that he's going to be upset with Umrah company as a result. If he doesn't see results, he's going to feel like a shaitan. He's going to feel like, bro, I'm taking this money for a product, but they're not benefiting. So you know what I do? Anytime there is a win, anytime there's a win, anytime someone's like, I just sold out my Umrah trip, anytime someone who was like, oh, I just succeeded from my Umrah trip, because that was the thing that they were selling, I would straight away take a screenshot and I would send it to the sales team. I would send it to the sales team straight away. Why? Because I want them to have a confidence of, bro, this product works. So our sales team was confident, like the offer was sick, the product is sick, the service is sick, our course is sick, because I kept showing them the results. So you've got to constantly give your team the results. And I'll tell you something that happened that kind of really annoyed me. Like, there was elements of our customer support team that, our customer support team was great overall, overall it was great. The brothers were really hardworking. There was a couple incidences where the customer support team was just becoming a bit laxed. And I tried to sort it out and, overcompensate. But then it got to the point where the sales team was starting to hear about the flops of the customer support team. They were starting to hear someone, missed this, missed that, didn't get this, didn't get that. And I can't lie, I got scared. Because you have to understand, the sales department, when he's closed the deal, he's passing now, or the person whose money he's taken, who he's told you're going to get X, and he's passing it over to the customer support team and saying, brothers, give it to him now. Give it to him. Give him the support that he needs. And if he's done his job and made this promise and he's hoping that you're going to carry on, but you don't, then how's he going to feel? Do you know, he's not going to feel confidence. You know what I did? I sacked the customer support team. I let them go. You know why? Because the L's that they took with the customers weren't too bad. Overall, the customers loved the customer support team and they benefited. And the customer support team was great. But I can't lie, I felt like it was affecting my sales guys. And those guys are the ones that are closing the deal. It's like you've created this massive noise, getting people hyped, interested. And then they speak to the sales guy and he makes a deal and the guy's excited about, I'm going to get this in return for the money that I just paid. And then if he has a slightly negative experience on the fulfillment, on the customer fulfillment side, support side, success side, that's a disease, bro. I'll be honest with you. That can infect your team and mash them up. It can affect your customers and mash them up as well. So many lessons to be taken from this. The sales guys, brothers, make sure that they remain confident in the delivery of the product, in the delivery of your course. And I promise you, if he's confident, like a lot of times sales, brothers, some of you have sold your products, right? And your courses and your services through your videos, or maybe you used to close yourself for your own course because of how confident you are and how much you believe in the fact that there is a solution here. Yes or no? You didn't study how to make hooks when you create ads and how to structure content and, these laws of influence and this is scarcity and this is social proof. You didn't know. You just, my brother, I'm going to show you how to do X. The confidence is what you were selling off, right? That shows sometimes confidence in a product with the permission of Allah will cause it to sell. The confidence of the seller will cause it to sell way more than any techniques or objection handling and all this, that, and the other. This could be a sales guy that's got the best objection handling skills. But if number one, you've given him a lead that's not warm. Number two, you've not set up a pipeline that's refined through 1% improvements. And number three, he doesn't actually believe this is going to benefit. He's going to have to admit, I am a deceitful man when I'm selling this product to a fellow Muslim, but he's not going to do a good job. Do you understand? So these are 3 things that I did with Allah Azza wa Jal. I warmed up the leads much as we could for social media. I was active in building the pipeline with the team. And number 3, I constantly showed the team the results to the point where I sacked an entire department. I let go of an entire department just to make sure my sales guys are happy. You understand? Now, as I promised, I'm going to tell you how you can gain access to the 7 steps to 7 figures. Now, the sales process, the sales strategy is one of those 7 steps. And what I covered with you today is just a small little drop in the ocean of the sales strategy. Then inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to be doing an event on the 23rd of this month, 23rd of June, 2:30 p.m. UK time. And inshallah ta'ala, 7 steps to 7 figures I'm going to show you. By the way, mark my words, this event inshallah ta'ala is going to be the biggest entrepreneurial event for the Muslims in history, in the history of the internet. Wallahi. So I'll see you there. Click the link below inshallah.